Hello. Welcome to AFCON Daily on United and Everything Football. We are grateful to have you here. We've gotten to the knockout stages of the competition. Yesterday, we brought you a preview of the games that happened. That's Nigeria versus Cameroon and also Angola versus Namibia. Now, we have a pairing for the first quarterfinal game. Angola will be coming up against Nigeria. We'll be going into that game, or the two games that happened, to see exactly what happened. I have my guest here will be going through that game to analyze what really happened to Namibia and what really happened to Cameroon and why the other teams were very comfortable in qualifying to the next stage of the competition. I have my guest here. I'll go for a quick break, but before that, as usual, remember to hit the subscribe button. Also, remember to hit the notification bell, leave your comments with us, share with your friends, and also like the page. It's very, very important to us. Please do so for us. So let's go for a quick break. When I come back, I'll introduce my guest and we'll get into the issues. We'll be right back after this. All right. So we are back here on United and Everything Football AFCON Daily. Thanks for sticking with us. We always enjoy our time with you. Always. If this is your first time, passing by, maybe you saw it, you clicked, you're enjoying the content we are giving you. We have a lot more for you, so please remember to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well. I'm joined today by my very good friend once again. We've been doing it together. Fifi Manfred has joined me today once again for us to delve into the games and also look ahead of the games that will be coming up to today. That's Egypt's coming up and also Cape Verde also be in action. But Fifi, I hope you are doing very well. Great to have you back on the show.
Kwame, I'm doing very, very well. Thank you very much for having me. Hello to everybody that has joined us, guys. Excellent stuff here from Kwame. And the team, again, like Kwame said, if you're not subscribed, I think you should. And you should turn on notification.
Very important. So Fifi, the link to Fifi's YouTube channel also be in the description. Please do join and click on it, subscribe. He has some great content there for you to enjoy every single time. He drops videos every day. Very tactical analysis, very good tactical analysis of games. Trending sports issues or football issues is always there. So please remember to join Fifi's YouTube channel. Fifi, let's start. Let's look at the games together. Angola went down by a man and found a way to score the first goal. Some way, somehow, Namibia decided to also get themselves a man down. And then so it was even at some point. Then from there, Angola just picked up and then finished off the job. Nigeria also did the job against Cameroon. You predicted that Cameroon would leave in the group stages. Some way, somehow, they sneaked in and finally out. Fifi, let me hear you.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Kwame. If you start with the Angolan game, I think that Angola going into this game had a slight edge over Namibia. But then again, the Namibian story is a beautiful one. It's one of a country that found a way of playing with a coach that has just been there for over a year and just 7 months. They got their first qualification to the AFCON round of 16. They've been in there, gotten their first win in the AFCON this time. They play some good stuff. Yes, they are one of the teams that weren't too exciting in their group stages. But then if you look at the Namibian story and where they've come from, it was a very good one. They came against the Palancras Negras of Angola. Who, of course, one of the traditional sides of the African Cup of Nations. They've been in there for a very long time. And then they are one of the quote-unquote big boys. And I think that they proved their mettle today. Even when they went out by a goal to 0-2, quick successive goals really turned the game on its side. Namibia also ended up getting a red card. And then it became at par, 10-10 on either side. But that goal from Mbulumbu it was excellent.
That was a super goal. That was a super goal.
Yeah, how he wrapped his foot around the ball and then found in the top corner was excellent stuff from Mbulumbu. And I think that if you're a player and you get into that area, it's essentially about technique, and he got the technique all right. So the Angolans went into this game. They knew that they had to get a job done. It was more like a Kosafa derby in that area of Africa. Came together. They showed their dominance, got the all-important 2-0. But then again, whilst Angola are going through, I think that for Namibia, they also lead the competition with heads high, especially for their coach, especially for their journey, for the fact that they've represented Namibia in the best way possible. And then they know that it is just the starting and building blocks for Namibian football. They would want to build from that. So it was the less fancy game today. And of course, it did also live up to the billing. Then we went into the big one. Big one.
The big one.
You knew my take on Cameroon. And I am happy that Rokobe's Song is going home. I'm happy that Samuel Littlefields is going home because they've not done a good job for Cameroonian football in recent times. They have mismanaged everything Cameroonian football. Their twin brothers, Ghana, were as bad as they were. The only thing was that they were lucky to sneak through into the round of 16. And after all the prayers that they did pray, when you go against a team that prays and also play good football, your prayers will not stand alone. God only blesses those that add hard work to their prayers. And the Nigerians were solid on the day. Yes, the confusion for the Cameroonian team, even before the tournament kicked off, was the first big thing because how are you coming into a tournament and one of your senior most players, Andre Onana, doesn't know when his joining come and he's choosing his club football over you. You are not stamping your feet over or on stuff. There is accusation in Cameroon that Samuel Littlefields' academy is churning a lot of players. He's allowing Onana do stuff like that because Onana is from his academy. There are even more reports that he has fallen out with Onana. The time and Onana got there, Rokobe's Song says that yes, you are not going to be imposed. Okay, you are going to be imposed. All the brouhaha concedes goals. Then later his own cousin, Fabrice Ondoa, joined in the polls and then begins to do all the cool things that they are supposed to do. So the Cameroon team was shrouded in a lot of controversy. And then you knew that they were not going to get things done, especially when their marksman in Vincent Abubakar was also absent in their team, the group stages. And today when he came on, all was lost. But hey, look at Nigeria and look at a serious team. A team that didn't win the first game, they drew. But since then, they've been going in leaps and bounds. They've conceded just one goal. That's fine, the competition. And you remember in our lead up to the competition, I told you that Pizarro should find a way to play in that 3-back and then get all the boys together. People talk about Nigeria's attack, but for me, the strength in Nigeria's game is in their defense and how they were going to use it. Even how today he was able to pull out Zaidu Sanusi, bring in Ken Otomero, went into that game excellently with William Trest-Okon, had Olaina, had Sanusi, had Calvin Bassey in there, had Sheyi Ajayi. Without the ball, that's a brilliant back three and progressing the ball. If they wanted extra men in the middle of the park, Calvin Bassey could step in. So the threat of Anguissa in the middle of the park wasn't enough for them. Of course, if the ball also went out wide and then Carl Toko Ekambi wanted to use that 1v1 threat, the Nigerians had numerical superiority in those areas to deal with stuff like that. And of course, when they were building up, they had a numerical advantage with Olaina going very high and wide and then getting the inside edge to also tap in with Moses Simons cutting inside whilst Olaina will keep the width for them. But I think that whilst a brilliant job was done by Victor Osimhen, I'll come to him in a jiffy. But then Nigeria have a wonderful number 6 in Yusuf. He, for me, apart from Calvin Bassey, apart from Olaina. Of course, I think that in today's game, you could have given the man of the match award to everybody in the Nigerian shift.
Yes.
They were all stellar. Everybody put in the shift. They were good. They fought for each other. They went into battles led by Captain William Trust-Ekong. But I think that somebody that's a little bit under the radar is one of their DMs who only came into the team because Wilfred Ndidi was injured, and his Yusuf was brilliant on and off the ball. That combination with Frank Onyeka in the middle of the park was something that was so good. The fact that he has been able to relegate Joe Aribo to the bench and then he controls everything that Nigeria does from the middle. Whilst Victor Iwobi also does the technical stuff. I've never been a fan of Victor Iwobi, but he seems to be proving me wrong. He's having a very, very good AFCON on the left-hand side of the 8, and Nigeria were good. But boy, oh boy, look at Victor Osimhen. He is something else.
Proper center forward.
See, he is everything that you need from a center forward.
That's it.
Everything that you need from center forward.
That's it.
Leading the press, leading the charge, going into battles,
Yes.
forcing the issue. Like everything that you need. And there are a lot of conversation about how Osimhen isn't scoring a lot of goals. The fact that he's underperforming his XG, but that doesn't matter in the context of Nigeria.
Yes.
He does more than just scoring goals in this team, and he edges the team. Look at the first goal that Lukman scored. It was from Yes, it was from Victor Osimhen's industry. It was from the fact that Victor Osimhen wanted to do more, force the issue, got the team to push in high, and then that goal did come in. And then the next one I saw had Victor Osimhen imprint in there. But that was brilliant. You know, at some point in time in the game, Cameroon were trying to catch Nigeria on the break by sitting back, soaking in the pressure, leaving Vincent Abubakar up top. Then the wide triangles that are asymmetric on the left-hand side of Calvin Bassey. And you know, this happened when Nigeria took off. Pizarro actually took off what's his name? Sanusi, and then brought in Kenneth Umeru. Once Kenneth Umeru came in, then Calvin Bassey moved on to the left-hand side, the left wing back, and then control things from himself. Lukman, Iwobi, that true ball from Iwobi, and then the excellent cross from Calvin Bassey. Then a proper winger that attacks crosses in the box was Ademola Lukman, and Nigeria were up by 2-0. Of course, they're having a field day tonight in Abuja and Lagos and every other place in Nigeria, and they deserve to be in there. They really deserve it. They deserve to be there.
That's absolutely fantastic. So Nigeria getting through there, growing leaps and bounds, like you rightly said, in the competition. They are doing quite well. I won't say quite well. They are doing very well. I mean, conceding one goal. They are playing correct tournament football. And trying their very best to, get to the latter stages. They'll be meeting Angola. I'll be looking forward to that game. I think Angola have also grown into the tournament. I mean, after their first game, I was very much impressed with the quality of display against Algeria. From there, they've been very solid. I mean, even after losing their goalkeeper, Neblu, in that in that way and manner, through red card, they still went ahead to do their job, and it was great. Now, let's look at tomorrow's games. Equatorial Guinea will be coming up against Guinea. A game I'm looking forward to be very honest. I think both teams are very solid. And then we will be looking at Egypt coming up against DR Congo. Now, the Egypt-DR Congo game is very interesting. All three teams drew all their group games and made 3 points to qualify. The battle of the draws. This time around, someone has to win. Let's look at it, Fee.
Yeah, this time, no matter what happens, someone would have to win. You know, Kwame, we never actually have time. When we start, we have time. Then we get to the conversation and it gets so nice, and we lose track of time. I think that's the joy. But let's do this one quickly. I think that Equatorial Guinea, for me, are one of the dark horses, serious dark horses, and I like how they played in the first round of the competition, being very direct with the job of Emiliano and Sui, and then the fact that they could go direct, hold out play, and then score all manner of goals. And in all of those stuff, we talk about Nigeria's solidity and compactness. If you look at the pass map, you look at the data, Equatorial Guinea is one of the most defensive sides, in as much as they scored some very good goals as well. They make it very difficult for you to bring them down, but then they have outlets in Ensui up top. Now, on the Guinean side, however, they've also been a team where they've grown into the competition. I watched them closely in that game against Senegal in the group stages, and you could tell that it's a good team, albeit they came against a tougher opponent. Now, in this game against Equatorial Guinea, I just think that Equatorial Guinea will edge them slightly, because of the quality all-rounder Equatorial Guinea have, from goalkeeping straight to the attack, and then the experience that they have in the African Cup of Nations, having been fought at some point in time, being at the quarterfinals the last time, and I think that Equatorial Guinea will sail through. Then we go into the Egyptian game. So it's on two things. It's on the technical front, and then the physical front. So on the physical front, you watch usually North African sides when they meet teams that are sub of the Sahara. They want to be more. They want to match us physically. They want to come in boot for boot, for want of a better word. And if you saw the Morocco DRC game, you could tell that the Moroccans went into the game more physical. And the game was even played at 2 p.m. GMT here in Ghana, 3 p.m. West African time. And it was a difficult game for the Moroccans to deal with the temperature. But they never looked worried. They never looked like they were not in shape. Albeit, when they got a first goal, the DRC knew that they could take the game to them. And I think that the DRC front three of Wissa, and then in the middle of the pack, Gael Kakuta, and what they do to the team is an all-round solid team. Of course, if you have someone like Chance Mbemba, the captain of the side, and then you don't have Ata Masuaku at the back leading the charge, it's a team that will not fear anybody. And of course, in an Egyptian team like Mohamed Salah, the DR Congo know that they have a very good chance to go ahead and beat them. Of course, on the side of how Egypt will deal with the physicality of the DRC, they've done it before. When they met Ghana, they were very good in terms of dealing with the physicality nature of the game. And then they've shown also even in the game against Cape Verde, where the game went very, very far. They still dug in and they got the job done. It is the most balanced game. And I think that also tells it. All of them had draws in the group stages. They come to face each other. Somebody has to win. All of them can play the game very well in terms of technical and tactical way of playing the game, but also largely balanced in terms of the physical spectrum of the game as well. It's a game that I don't want to even think about making a prediction. Honestly, I just want to enjoy the game because I think that game is.
But I'll push you. I'll push you. Make a prediction.
It is very balanced. I'll go for the DRC.
You go for the
DRC.
All right.
Yeah.
I will also go. I'll also go for the DRC. Egypt has. They are very different when they get to the knockout stages, but this time around, I don't think they would get out of it. I feel. You know they've got to do the things that they do, the sacrifices in killing the cow and all of those things, but they've looked different when Salah got out of the team. I feel they were even better when Salah got out of the team, especially watching that game live in Abidjan when they played Ghana. They look absolutely different. They moved the ball better. You realize that the team was a lot more collective. I'm not saying with Salah they are not like that, but I mean when you have a star-studded player like Salah in the team, you try as much as possible
play to his strengths and everything.
To his strength, but this time around it was a lot more collective.
Yeah, I mean, once he was out, Ahmed Ashaw and all the other players took the game by the scruff of its neck, and then they showed that they're also very good. And I think that they were actually sharper. Defending, attacking, counter-pressing, everything. Yes. And that's how they got us to make two mistakes, and then they capitalize on that.
Exactly. So that's how it's going to be. Guys, thank you so much for joining. As usual, thank you, Fifi, for being with us. It's always a pleasure. We'll still be with Fifi till the end of the tournament. So we'll be looking forward to the games that'll be coming up. Equatorial Guinea versus Guinea, and then the game between the DRC and Egypt. Please remember to hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment when you watch this episode. Let us know what you think about the games that will be happening and what you think about the whole show. We'll be very, very happy to have you. Thank you so much, Fifi. Thank you so much to you all for watching. It's been great having you. We'll be back tomorrow, same time on AFCON Daily. Have a great time.